What makes a film a Pocong film? The popularity of Pocong figure in Indonesian cinema and its niche audience enabled the continuous support for the production of this particular type of horror film. There are at least 46 film titles which feature Pocong figure in Indonesia, with the oldest title dated back in 1981. To partake in this venture, there are at least two traditional routes which the filmmakers can pursue. The popular route pursues the capitalization of the niche audience. Pocong films which were produced in this route usually exploit the hybrid genre by mixing horror with other popular genres such as sexploitation, comedy, or romance. The serious route pursues the glocalization outlook, a portmanteau for globalization and localization, by using the convention of Hollywood horror genre to exploit Pocong figure as a local cultural asset. Tali Pocong Perawan, for example, uses Pocong figure as a narrative device to develop a story about romantic and sexual entanglements between college students. While Ada Apa Dengan Pocong appeals to the youth masses through themes such as friendship and betrayal. Ada Apa Dengan Pocong subverts expectations associated with horror film by blending the familiar trope of Pocong with the absurdity of the film's treatment, which is comedy, to make the audience laugh instead of being scared.
Kata buku, lu pocong. Pocong.
On the other hand, we have Pocong the Origin, which pursues the serious route of producing a horror film. With a highly stylistic visual and sound design, the film uses crisis as a plot device to tell a story of how black magic finds a new human vessel. In all three films, the Pocong figure is closely associated with mysticism. In Tali Pocong Perawan, to make a love potion, Pocong's ties are the necessary ingredient in a mystical ritual.
Mencuri tali pocong perawan.
Tali pocong harus diambil sebelum 40 hari dari hari kematiannya. Iya.
In Ada Apa Dengan Pocong, the appearance of a shaman figure is partly mystical and partly comedic, since he is portrayed as an industrious shaman with savvy marketing skills.
Nanti gue lihat.
In Pocong the Origin, the plot centers around a dangerous and unpredictable black magic power. The mystical ambience is also constructed through a series of mysterious incidents which involve supernatural beings, both seen and unseen. Pocong the Origin especially uses this trope regularly. From the village chief's sudden suicide by hanging, the village chief's wives getting possessed by a singer ghost, to the coming of a group of supernatural beings to pick up Sasti's father. In Tali Pocong Perawan, an example of mysterious incident is when Nino is driving at night and thought he had hit someone who had suddenly appeared out of nowhere. But when Nino checks the body, no one is there. The notion of mysticism in the three films is also enhanced by several stylistic tendencies, especially noticeable in the mise-en-scène and film sound design. Several objects being used as amulets and chants voiced in Ada Apa Dengan Pocong and Pocong the Origin, for example, indicate a general Javanese influence called Kejawen.
Weh, itu jangan lu bawa pipis.
In the two films, black magic that works as the source of mysticism is loosely seen as part of Kejawen culture. In the three films, the sound designs follow the convention of horror film. The main objective of the film's sound design is to control emotion by creating suspense and surprise through various sound elements. There also exist mysterious sounds to signify the supernatural entities which live outside of the human living realm.
Flora, hampir halal tuh ngopi.
Pocong the Origin, especially, often uses the common strategy of using sound effects to create tension. In this scene, the sound comes before image. The visual and sonic juxtaposition creates a surprise, since at the moment it heard, the sound cuts off a conversation by creating distraction. At the same time, it also creates a suspense, since we don't know yet what is the sound's source. The use of diegetic off-screen sounds to create mystery also happens in the bathroom scene, when we hear a sound of a woman crying inside the bathroom, but we see no one in there. this type of storytelling through the use of sounds, especially used in the film, to emphasize the existence of the supernatural as unseen forces. Thus, in these films, the Pocong figure as a mystical myth is seen as part of the supernatural realm. This tendency confirms to Hader's description of Indonesian horror films pattern, which mostly deal with supernatural powers based on traditional folklores. Even though Pocong the Origin pursues a more serious route in producing a proper horror film, the three films use Pocong as a horror figure in an exploitative manner. All three films show this gesture through exploiting the nature of Pocong as part of black magic. This supernatural and mysterious power is depicted as dangerous and uncontrollable, thus emphasizing its exotic quality. This argument is in line with Pete Tom's sentiment about the importance of exoticizing the horror genre in exploitation films produced in Indonesia. Pocong in contemporary Indonesian cinema is treated like other local mythologies, such as Sundel Bolong or Ratu Laut Selatan. Furthermore, Tom also points out the cultural tendency of how black magic is taken much more seriously by audience in Indonesia than they were in the West for cultural reasons. This cultural verisimilitude enables the sustaining niche market for Pocong films, since exotic mystical beings are always a fascinating subject for Indonesian audience.
Apa kagak nih? Nah itu menurut loh. Menurut gue teriak. Bebek